Right then, so it's Black Friday, it's 4:30, we've been busy as out today, been doing everything, so we fit a killing. But anyway, at the minute we've got both TTs here and the Golf in, all the stuff stripped off them, engines are out, seam welding the engine bay, which we did a little bit when we did them first time, but we should have done it a bit more in depth. Tub these fronts a little bit, just mainly because we don't want to put arch liners in because it's just something else to fall out. And there are a bit of damage on here anyway from a previous repair. So we've sorted that out. That should make things a little bit easier. This car, well, the one with a good engine, but this one's going diesel. So we took the engine out. We're getting rid of all the fuse box. We're going to do the same on the Golf as well. ECU Master Dash, ECU Master PDM, and still the factory ECU. And we're going to have like a nice keypad for all the buttons and stuff. So that should simplify the wiring. So there shouldn't be a fuse box or any relays in both of these cars. Maybe we'll do it to the TT, but we're just going to get the TT like the TCR later on. So we'll see. This one, we've got rid of the dump churn stuff because we've only ever needed to put 20 litres in the diesel. So there's no point having the big dump churns on. And it meant having diesel dump churns, petrol ones. We didn't want to do that. Just use the tough jugs for that. So that's going to be transferred to the other car. This was the car that had been mostly developed with a petrol engine in. So all the wiring and everything that we've done on this one is going into the other one. This one's not as bad as the other one damage-wise. There's little bits of dents here and there that we've got to pull out because we're going to be painting them black. Or we think we're painting them black and red. So everything will stand out. So we need to be careful with that one. Loads of little bits to do. But you can see a bit better on this one where all the cage brackets have been bolted on. So because this is all aluminium at the top, we've had to weld it and then bolt it. So it don't look too pretty at the minute. And I think we've just been talking about it, we might add a bit more bracing at the back on this. So the idea is, with a Golf, looks a mess at the minute, not really easy to get to, but I think we're going to swap the ECU for a transporter ECU, and that'll allow us to put piezo injectors in. So it's very similar architecture. The transporter ECU is very similar architecture to the ECU that we run at the minute, so we can transfer a lot of stuff over to that, and then we can run the piezo injectors, which I'm hoping give us maybe, if we get 30 horsepower more for the same EGTs, AFR and stuff like that, and we're going to put the cylinder pressure on as well, as it is, and with the bigger injectors, the piezo injectors. Not 100% sure. I don't think anybody's ever done this test before. I've had a quick look online and can't see anybody that's gone from piezo to solenoid and got a back-to-back on the same engine. So maybe that's a separate video in itself. I'm not too sure. But if we can do that, because this is only at 255, 260 horsepower on our dyno, and I don't really want to run it any harder. That's fine for Class B, top of Class B, no problem. But we want to take a bit of weight out of this, which is going to be 100 kilos lighter, but we still probably need 40 horsepower, 30 or 40 horsepower to get this into Class A. So we'll see. And I think if this is faster than the Golf and in Class A, Scott's just going to take this off me and want to race in Class A. So I'll end up driving the Golf next year, but I'm easy. I'll do whatever, see what happens. So, we've got the Golf and the dyno, still looks as rough as it ever did. As you can see now, we've got the piezo injectors in. You can tell when the piezo because the fuel flow goes in, whereas solenoids, they go into the side. That's just how they work. One's open, one's closed normally. But anyway, that's that. So they're in there, and they're working pretty good, to be honest. We've got the cylinder pressure monitoring glow plugs in here. These are factory cylinder pressure monitoring sensors. The stupidly expensive ones, they all stop working, and hopefully we're going to get them sorted out pretty soon and we can actually see what's happening, because once you're at full load, these are maxed out 220 bars, which is quite a lot. Not many petrol engines will be running 220 bar cylinder pressure, I wouldn't have thought. Definitely not at low RPM anyway. So that's that. But the good news is this injector swap and the ECU swap, because this is a transporter ECU, which we didn't think were going to work, but the green lines are what roughly we're doing previously. So it was 255 last time I saw it, but I think we've run it subsequently with this tyres, temperature and stuff, and we got 265, so it does make a bit of a difference. But anyway, the shape of the curves is what we're looking at, not the exact peak numbers. But you can see now we've got the piezo injectors, we've got tons more torque at the bottom end, and we've got pretty much 25 horsepower-ish, 26 horsepower, which I think that should be enough. And this, at the minute, based on what it were doing before, we have had to change the EGT sensor because they work differently on these two ECUs. There's only about 20 degrees difference in the exhaust temperatures. This is post-turbine because we don't put the pre-turbo on because they can melt when you're doing 1,000 degrees constantly, and then they drop through turbo and cause you problems. We just put it in down part, and if it drops off, it doesn't matter. But that's just for monitoring. We don't have it doing any control loop. There's no closed loop control there. So we've pretty much got what we wanted. I think Matisse can have a little play when we've got the sensors that can read more. I think we can put a bit more timing in there. And what the timing does, you put more timing in, that'll lower your exhaust temperatures, but you're putting more temperature and pressure into your cylinders. So we need to make sure that we're not putting too much into there and then we start breaching egg gaskets and stuff like that. And that's what really hurts small capacity diesel engines, it's the cylinder pressures. Well, any diesel engine, but small ones especially. So yeah, really happy with that. This is going to then get turned back down. Whether we leave them piezo injects in, I'm not sure. We'll see what Matisse wants to do. But this was sort of the test bed for the TT, then we knew what we were going to do. So now we can get all the wiring loom sorted for the TT, get everything in there, and then hopefully if we pull enough weight out of that with all the carbon stuff, put this engine in, we'll be in Class A. But there has been a bit of change in the structures, it's just come through to their draft regulations. So we're sort of working to regulations that we've not got yet, which is a bit difficult. But anyway, let's carry on cracking on with these and see how we get on. So, this is a prototype spoiler bracket. Ignore that, Harry's been doing some stuff and coming up with some stuff, but as you can see here, got some manifolds. So, it's been a while since we got onto these, but Dan's just made these. Look a little bit odd, these, but we've had to pull the turbo quite a bit away from the engine because of the balance shaft. He's not polished it up or anything, so if your manifold looks like that when you get it, it's because Dan's forgot to polish it, but it's fine. These are going off for ceramic coating anyway. Once we've got it all test fitted, downpipes made, we're hopefully the TTs and the Golf's going to be the same. Going to get another manifold, another 3 downpipes and everything else all made. So we've got spares and everything, all ceramic coated and ready to rock. Not that we usually have any hassle with manifolds and stuff, but you never know. Rather have spares, and worst case we sell it later on. So anyway, it is what it is. So this will be for sale anyway. Top mounted BMW oval port manifold. You'll see it on his clearance video that we should be doing sometime soon because there's stuff everywhere. But anyway, so that's the Golf. This is going to be going over to the body shop pretty soon, but we're just waiting on Paul ripping the engine out here so that we can get the engine bay painted. We've still not decided what we're going to do because when we took the wrap off, it's rougher than we expected. Not sure whether painting this is the best idea. Definitely paint it black will make us life a misery, at least paint us job a misery. But anyway, we'll see about that. Quite a bit to tidy up. We'll go have a look in the body shop next. So just in the body shop now, TT engine bay has been done. So this is just waiting for the diesel engine to get slotted in, check everything fits. Then it's going to come back over and we're going to get the rest of the interior painted. So we've seam welded all this. Because it's aluminium in the roof, we've had to bolt little tabs here. We've seam welded everywhere we can, bolted tabs all over the place here, which is obviously going to help the stiffness of the chassis, because although people think that the TTs are really stiff, we seem to have found last season, like if you go off so on the garages where like Snetterton, where it falls down, you drive off the edge and the roll cage, it probably, what is it there, probably like 5-10 mil away from roof, it'd start touching roof as you're sort of dropping off, which to me shows that these cars weren't as stiff as they should be. So that's why we've done all this extra work. It's a bit crap because we already painted inside once last year. Lesson learned, see them well before you start trying to make your cars look nice. But anyway, we kind of knew that. Yeah, we'll get cracking. So, a lot's changed with the Golf since we last looked at it. For one, we've not painted it, we've wrapped it, which I think looks pretty good. I've not even had a proper look at it myself, but anyway, very happy. Worked out a lot cheaper to do that, and quicker. Jake and Paul ended up painting the engine bay because the lads in the body shop were too busy. Got some nice heat management stuff from Funk Motorsport. Don't know why they've covered this fuel pipe, but he has. And then the bulkhead and done the brake hoses this side. We've also had our ceramic coating on the exhaust manifold and the turbo housing. Looks pretty nice. So these are the spare ones. I think these ones are going on the TT. So basically, at the minute now, we're just getting Dan to sort out all the boost pipes because we've had a billet inlet made. So only this piece and the flange is billet to replace the one that we made ourselves before. Oh, and this piece is billet as well. Struggling a little bit for the right silicons because we've been popping them. So we've had 5-ply silicons made. But I think that was where the other silicon was. It was in between the manifold and stuff like that. I think that was the problem. It always popped the day after it had been on the dyno. So I think it's when the heat's just there and it got it. But anyway, that's by the by. We've not had any hassle with other ones. It's going testing tomorrow and it's not quite ready yet. It needs to go on dyno as well. So it's going to be a late night for somebody, I think, to try and get this ready. But we're taking the RS3 as well, so we'll get that loaded up. We made a few changes to the interior as well. CAE shifter to replace the non-genuine copy version or whatever it had in before. 3D printed up a full new panel, made things a bit easier to get to. So the buttons are going all over. Got this little adjustable cam, whatever, Scott knows what it can do. And we've had an ECU master dash. So, see how that all works. Can we? Does it come on? I don't think it does. I don't think it's quite ready. Anyway, we've had some new spoil brackets made, so this pushes it all the way out as far as it'll go. So this is all the way to the regs. I think it's 100mm away from the back bumper, and it can't be any higher than the roof, which obviously when you've got the TT it can be quite high. We'll never get it that high. But yeah, still loads of little bits of stuff to do, but it's looking a lot better than it did previous. Really happy. Yeah. See how we get on. I think we'll wrap this video up and then we'll do the TT separately and the testing and all that sort of stuff because this has gone on for a long time now. But yeah, sweet, thank you.